Good morning, all the students, and welcome to the another session of Structural Analysis 1. I hope you all are doing well, safe at your places in the current situation, and also making full efforts of keeping the learning tempo up, right? So I advise all of you to have your writing tools with you. As earlier we have discussed, that it is always good to keep working along with the session, ongoing session, so that you may feel like attending the real classroom, right? And that's why I practice with writing in live session, so that you get the real feeling, right? Otherwise, typing the text onto the presentation may lead to a sleeping mode to all of us sometimes, right? So that's why I select this mode of delivery, and I hope that you all are liking it, and it's uh, feasible to all, right? Okay, friends. In the last session, yesterday, we have reached to this level of solution of the simple determinate beam exercises or the problems by using Macaulay's method. And we have noticed that Macaulay's method is usually very convenient for complex or advanced level of the loading conditions on simply supported beam ideally. So we now know that not all the methods of analysis are suitable to every type of the problem, and especially when we are discussing the simple supported beam, Macaulay's method proves to be very helpful, and especially when you have a combination of forces. So in the last session, we have developed the generalized equation. So as discussed earlier, we'll start from this point only, and then we'll see some more similar problems with some different load conditions. Right? And we'll dedicate one more session on this topic, so that you completely get acquainted and you feel comfortable for using the Macaulay's method for such problems, right? So quickly, I will give you a glance of what is the speciality of Macaulay's method is. As you can read from this presentation, I mean from this line, yesterday we have written in form of generalized equation of the moment. So the biggest advantage of Macaulay's method is whatever is the load condition, we create one common governing equation for the moment, and then progressively we put it into the another governing equation for the relationship between the moment and curvature, and then we keep integrating the same equation with respect to x to obtain the slope and the deflection general format. That is a speciality of the Macaulay's method. And then we apply boundary conditions to avoid or to eliminate the constants of integration, and then finally we reach to the desired equation, which are ready to give us the solution of the desired quantities in terms of slope and deflection at the desired locations. Right. So this was the fundamental that we discussed. And now let's go ahead from this point. So we have developed this generalized equation where you can see we started our making of this equation from left hand, that is point A, and we traveled with x as a distance from A towards B, and whatever number of forces came across, we keep counting and we keep writing them in form of x distance. So ideally you have to take moment of all these forces about this section, not about point A, but about the section, but the distance will be written in form of x, right? And here you have to take care that x, when you enter into the new segment, let us say A to C, C to D, and D to B are three segments. So x will continue to enter into the new segment as a continuous length. So when you are somewhere between C to D, your x remains the constant distance from point A, right? So the only thing that you need to take care that how you get the instantaneous distance within the point C to D with respect to x, and for that you require location of the new force, right, which is available just at the start or beginning point of the next session, next segment, right? So here as you can see 12 kilonewton is the force which is available at the beginning of the new segment C to D, but its distance is available with us from point A. So indirectly we are referring the distances of these forces with respect to point A only, but we are expressing it in a indirect way. So here we have shown the same, like 12 into x minus 3, that's the moment equation at this level, right? Right now I am making a new line over here. So if you want to check this distance, you have to have a expression in terms of x minus 3. Similarly, when you are standing here in a next segment D to B, the moment of 8 kilonewton force will be considered with the distance expressed in terms of x and its exact location from uh, reference point A, right? Okay, so that is how you can obtain this distance over here, right? So now we may go ahead and we have, you can see that we have put all these equations in the generalized governing format, and here we can write once again, right? Let's write down once again the same equation. EI d square y upon dx square equals to VAX, right? Then segment, there is a segment for that, minus 12 x minus 3. Then we have a segment again, minus 8 into x minus another distance 9.5, right? 9.5. So I hope till here there is no doubt about how to develop this equation and related questions. Now we will write down here slope equation. So that is given by first integration of the above equation, dx dy by dx equals to VAX square by 2. Now please remember, whatever constant gets developed, you have to write it within the first segment of the equation itself. Then we'll go ahead, minus 12 x minus 3 You also remember how to integrate the term in form of x minus the value, that is x minus 3 whole square divided by 2. Do not integrate it as x square minus 3x, right? That is the condition of the Macaulay's method, and we cannot do any alternate solution for that, right? So x minus 9.5 whole raised to square divided by 2. That is our slope equation. And similarly we'll go for deflection equation. So deflection equation is also expressed like ei into y equals to va x cube upon 6 plus c1x plus c2. Then the another segment starts, that is by the way, please enter your details in the chat box for attendance. X minus 3 whole raised to cube and 6, right? And last session, that is last segment, that is x minus 9.5 whole raised to cube upon 6, right? So these are our let us say governing equations, again modified governing equation a and b, right? And we'll try to solve the problem with this. Now our next job or next step is to eliminate the values of constants C1 and C2. So let's check out the boundary condition, and we know that let me give the step number. This was 1, let us say this is 2, so this will be step number 3 here, and step number 4, right? Apply boundary conditions. As where the y becomes 0 and accordingly x is 0 also, like first is where x is equal to 0, y is also 0. So we may see that here where the y is 0, we can get the constant accordingly. We have two conditions, like negative terms are neglected, right? So when you have 0, this term becomes negative, this term also becomes negative. So those terms are to be neglected as per the Macaulay's method rule. So in general, we can say that when you have x is 0, y is 0, C2 becomes 0, right? So directly you can write for these two conditions, C2 is 0. So now let's use the another condition when x is of the full length. Now what is the full length of the beam? 3 plus 6.5, 9.5 plus 5, 10 and 4, 14, right? So at a distance of 14 meters, that is the another opposite end of the member, at that location y again becomes 0. But now please be careful that here when you replace x with 14, this term will not be negative anymore. So we cannot ignore these terms. So please include these terms in the calculation, right? So now let's see how we obtain the value of C1 constant, that we can put it over here. So this is 0 equals to C2 is already 0, so we will follow that. Now what is the VA value? VA is 12, right? So 12 into 14 raised to cube divided by 6 plus x is 14, so 14 into C1. Then we use this segment minus 12, 14 minus 3 cube 6, then minus 8, again 14 minus 9.5 cube 6. Alright, so likewise we can obtain this values. Now let's simplify this and let me do calculation for you. Is 14 cube into 12 divided by 6, so it gives me 5488, right? So 5488. It will take some time, but I just want you to give full comfort of learning. So 14 minus 3 becomes 11 raised to cube divided by 6 into 12. So 2662, right? So minus 2662, and again we have 14 minus 9.5, so that is 4.5, cube of that into 8 divided by 6, so that is 1 to 1.5, right? So that is 1 to 1.5. All right, so now we can simplify this again. So 0 equals to, this is positive, this two are negative, so 2662 plus 1 to 1.5, that is 2783.5, so 5488, so 2704.5, right? So 2704.5 plus 14 C1, right? And that gives us C1 value as negative 193.17. 193.17, or even we can go with 18, right? So that is what is the value we have. Okay, that is the answer that we wanted, right, to obtain the necessary values, right? So now we are comfortable enough to go along with our whatever desired values simply, right? So now if I need a slope, because what was the question was to find out the slope and deflection at point C, right? So here now we should know what is the distance of point C from point A, that is 3 meter. So now we'll be using in equation A, we shall be using x equals to 3, right? So here let's go ahead. In the fifth step, slope at point C. So this is the equation where we will replace C1 with this value, and please understand x is 3, so negative value will be there, which should be ignored, and here x equals to 3, so it will get cancelled since become 0. So we just need to use it, ei dy by dx equals to, what is VA? VA is 12 into 3 raised to square by 2 minus 193.18. Okay, so 9 into 12 divided by 2, so that is 54. So 54 minus 139.17, right? That becomes 139.7 minus, right? So should I write here negative 139.17, right? So finally, if I get it as dy by dx minus 139.17 divided by EI, right? Now please understand, still this term is in form of kilonewton into meter square. And our data which is available or given to us in form of EI is, let's check it, it is in Newton per mm square and in mm raised to 4 format. So we have to convert this data into that appropriate format. So minus 139.17 into kilonewton will become 10 raised to 3 Newton and mm will become 10 raised to 6, right? Mm square divided by 200 into 10 raised to 3 Newton per mm square, that is E into what is the I value? I is 160 into 10 raised to 6, sorry, 160 into 10 raised to 6. Okay, so that is what is our final stage of calculation, and that gives us final answer. You can see that this 10 raised to 3 and 10 raised to 6 we may directly cancel here, right? So we'll perform the operation calculation accordingly. So 139.17 divided by 200 and divided by 160. So that is negative 4.35 into 10 raised to minus 3 radians. All right. So that is our first answer, and the negative sign indicates, what does it indicate? Let me show you. This is point C, and when you have deflection, you have slope theta C. Wherever you take, I mean literally like this, theta C is negative because it is clockwise, right? That is the sign. And the sixth step over here, in the sixth step, we'll calculate the deflection, right? Deflection at point C. Now, if it is required, you can go for the same calculation of slope at point D also, or any random distance you can select on this beam, and just you need to replace x with that distance. So your job will get done. Now we'll utilize this equation where we need to use C1 value which is available with us, and C2 is already 0. So let me write here, right? EI into Y equals to VA into, I think it is x cube upon 6. Yes, VA x cube upon 6, C1 into x, C1 into x. I'll not write down C2 because it doesn't exist. And here this becomes 0 and this becomes negative. So I'll avoid these two terms also in equation B. Please understand. Okay. So that is what we have. Now we'll keep EI as a constant value, right? Just give me a moment. So VA is 12 that we have, right, into x. Now x is 3, so we'll put it as a cube over here. 6 plus, this is 193.18 if I'm not wrong, into 3, right? 193.18, yes. So let's go ahead and 12 into 3 raised to cube divided by 6, so it is 54 again, minus 193.18 into 3, so that is 579.54, right, minus 54, 525.54 EI, right, Y. So we'll put it like that in a simple way. Y is equal to 525, sorry, it will be negative 525.54 divided by EI. Now please understand this term is still in a form of kilonewton into meter cube. Always remember this. So we need to simplify it. Minus 525 into 54 into 10 raised to 3 into 10 raised to 9, right? Because of this transformation of units, right? We shall never be forgetting that these are the requirements. So 200 into 10 raised to 3 into 160 into 10 raised to 6, right? Okay. So this is how we can now go ahead. 525.54 divided into 1000, right? Or we may directly operate this 9 plus 3 12, and this is 6, so balance is 3, right? So 545.54 into 1000, right, divided by 200 divided by 160. Okay, so ultimately we'll get our answer in form of quantity over here as EI. EI remains as it is, so this is what is our final answer in terms of mm, so that is negative 16.42 mm, right? So this is what we have achieved. Now you can also, you should write YC because C is the corresponding point. You can accordingly select your locations, right, on any point of the beam, right? C, D likewise, right? So I think we have put sufficient effort in this numerical in calculation of the desired quantity. I advise you to note down this question and try to solve this problem by calculating theta d and yd, right? So when you do it, your basic equation will not get changed. Please understand. So this is the half work done for you already. So you just need to replace x values accordingly. So when you replace x value, it will become 9.5, right? So I think this middle term will be in picture, but the last term will not be in picture. It will be ignored, right? Because it becomes zero in that case. So I'm sure that if you practice it with like that, you will get another insight on how to use Macaulay's method for such solutions. Now let me bring you to the another uh, combination of the force, because that is what I am interested to show you how to solve it. Right. Let's take another example here. This is new example I'm introducing. Right. Because how we generate the equation, that is most significant and important aspect, right, in Macaulay's method. Rather any of the method, it is very important, right? So we have a UDL throughout the span, and we have one moment that is given in this direction at this location, right? I hope we have not done this earlier, this numerical. The value of this UDL is 15 kilonewton per running meter, right? And the moment value we have as 160, right, kilonewton into meter, right? Okay, so accordingly we can start our work. So this is A, this is B, this is C point. The distance we have is 3 meter, and this is 5 meter. So that is the problem statement. I had selected one more numerical for you. This is okay. This will give you yes. There is another interesting numerical. So I will note down that also so that I don't forget to discuss it, because that usually happens, that whatever you decide you may not be executing it as in a desired way. So this is the problem statement. You please note down this also, and I will require your involvement now in these solutions, right? Let's say we have a UDL throughout the span, okay, and that's the value. I'm writing it here itself so that I can recall in the next session which next problem we need to discuss, right? So this is 2 meter, and this is double of that, that is 4 meter. A, B, and C. Now what we need here, in this case you have to obtain theta A and y A, right? Find find theta A and y A, right? And I'll also supply E value as 200 gigapascal and I value as 3 into 10 raised to 7 mm raised to 4. Okay. Now here we'll come back to this original discussion. I mean the new problem that we were discussing. Yes. So now we'll find theta c and yc, right? And we have some supplied data like EI equals to 40 into 10 raised to 3 kilonewton into meter square. Okay, so that is what is expected. Now I will be requiring your help in this to solve this problem. So who will tell me the reactions first? The first step, reactions. So let me draw the free body diagram just here itself. Don't get afraid of combination of the forces, and I'm sure that most of you are very convenient or efficient rather in calculating the reactions for any sort of loading conditions may come across to you, right? Because you have learned all this very nicely in your mechanics of solids sessions, right? So should not be a problem. So please tell me reactions. I will wait for another 1.5 or 2 minutes maximum, and then you may raise your hand to give me the answers. I'll keep the box open over here so that I can spot who is raising the hand. It's just a typical step that you need to follow in calculation of the reactions. Don't focus on this example. Right now we are targeting this example with moment. Somebody has to give me the answer of reaction. That's what I'm waiting, and the whole class is waiting. And I don't think it's a tough task. It's very simple rather. And at least I can expect these answers from you guys. You have done very well in mechanics of solids. So at least I'm surprised it's taking too much time, right? It's not that difficult. Hmm? Yes, Darsha is there to answer. Yes, Darsha.
Sir, I am getting 40 kilonewton.
RA
Yes, sir.
means VA, right?
Yes, sir.
That is 40. Let me change the color for you people. 40 kilonewton. And what is VB?
Sir,
Then it should be very
also 40.
15 into
Yes, also 40, sir.
8. I insist that you work upon once again. 15 into 8, that's all. So 15 into 8 gives you 120. 120 minus 40, so 80. It should be 80, isn't it? Right? So that's what the reactions that we have. Okay. So all I request to note down these values. Okay. So from here we'll go ahead and we'll do our first most important task. Now see how we generate this generalized equation. So second is generating generalized equation of what? Of moment. Okay. So let's write down mx. Now we start moving from point A towards B with x distance. So who will guide me how to write the equation over here? Again, you can raise your hand. Generalized equation. Any one of you? Or should I name the student? Albert, would you like to try? You can unmute yourself. You can talk to me and to the rest of the class.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Albert, would you like to respond here for
Yes, sir.
moment?
Mm.
What should I write here?
Minus V times X.
Sorry.
Minus V times X.
Okay, so vertical
Minus
reaction
V times X.
VA into X. Is it okay? And should it be negative?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Then
Yes.
what is next? Still,
UDL.
let's say this is A, this is B, and this is C. So segment one is done or it's pending.
There is UDL.
Yes, UDL is there. So still it is pending. So UDL will create anti-clockwise moment. So I will write down here with positive sign 15 into x square divided by 2. Is it fine?
Yes.
So that is still within the same segment, and now we are, this is general for the entire segment, and we are now about to write the next segment, right? If you wish, you can put it into the another segment also, like you can create two segment, because why? I mean, this UDL is general for the entire beam, right? And now 160 I will be writing here, that is, let me help you, 160 into, where is the location? X minus 3, 0. This is what I want all of us to learn. You can mute yourself, Albert. Thanks for the discussion. And now everybody will please focus on this equation, which is very important. As I discussed earlier, right? That whenever there will be a moment, we will treat it as multiplication of the distance with the 0 degree, right? We will keep it in a loop, we will keep it in a form just like to similar to the other point loads. And suppose there would have been a point load over here, just I'm giving you just an example, like something is like this. If this would have been like this 160, what would have been the equation for this? X minus 3, right, into 160. Yes, that's what we used to do, right? But instead of point load, we have a moment. This is not a point load, it's a moment. But we want to keep the format intact, so we'll use, because moment doesn't require the multiplication of the distance, that all of us know very well. That's why what I'm doing is, instead of using the typical multiplication of force into distance, and since it is applied moment, and to keep the format of the equation intact, you can use this kind of arrangement, and this is applicable to all the moments. Suppose you have another moment here again, and let us say its value is 200 and its location is, let's say, somewhere at additional 2 meters. So we would have write, this is anti-clockwise moment, so 200 into x minus 5, 0 degree, because 3 plus 2 5 is the location, and 0 degree means it's nothing, right? So this would have been added. However, it's not there, so I'll not consider it right now, and don't get confused. So this is what is our final expression. This is why I have taken this variety of the numerical, so that you get to know how to handle the moments. All right. So this is what 15 x square by 2 minus 160 x minus 3 raised to 0. Right. This is a special treatment given to the equation for the moment that you should always remember. Okay. Now, the rest of the process is very well known to us. We have to start developing the integration of this equation, and we'll put it into the form of the equation, our generalized expression ei d square y upon dx square equals to minus mx. That means VA into x. Then we have a segment minus 15 x square by 2, then plus 160 x minus 3 raised to 0. This procedure you should do in the very beginning itself, so that later on you don't repent on the incorrect sign conventions in the calculations. Right. So now from this we'll go ahead and we'll obtain our first equations, basic equations. Let me rewrite the equation here. D square y upon dx square equals to VA into x. Then we have a segment minus 15 x square by 2. We have a segment then plus 160 into x minus 3 raised to 0. Let's confirm once. VAX minus 15x square plus 16x minus 3. Is it okay? So now let's go to the third step, and slope equation will develop first of all out of this equation. Okay. So we'll write EI dy by dx equals to VAX square by 2 plus C1 as the first constant minus 15 x raised to cube upon 6, right? Then we have a segment plus 160 x minus 3, because integration of 0 will be taken as 1, right? That also you should notice, right? And then we have a deflection equation. Deflection equation EI into y equals to VA x cube upon 6 plus C1 x plus C2. Then we have a division minus 15 into x raised to 4. Here it becomes 24 plus the next segment plus 160 x minus 3 square by 2. So that is what we have in our hand as at the end of this process. Now let's try to avoid what? The constants, right? So let's put boundary conditions. X equals to 0, y becomes 0. So that is for, let us say x is used over here, so it becomes 0 again, and x, when you use 0 as here, it becomes negative term, so it is avoided. So that means C2 becomes 0 automatically. And when you use other case, x equals to full length, so that means 8 meter, y becomes 0, right? So in that case, now we have to find the value of C1, right? So this means 0 equals to, how much is the VA? VA value is 40 into x is 8, so that is cube 6 over here plus 8 times C1, right, minus 15 times 8 raised to 4 upon 24 plus 160, and 8 minus 3, that is 5 square upon 2. So when you do the needful calculations, let me calculate it for you. Right. So the cube of 8 into 40 divided by 6 gives us 3413. I'm sure you are also getting the same answer, 3413.33 plus 8c1 minus 8 raised to 4 into 15 divided by 24. So that gives you 2560 plus square of 5 into 160 by 2 gives you 2000. All right. So that is what is the final answer for C1. This is plus, this is minus. So 3413.33 minus 2560 plus 2000 divided by 8. So that gives me, and we take it on the other side, so it becomes negative. So minus 356.67, right? That is the value of C1. Right? So now we are almost done to use this further in the calculation. Okay, so we can go over on and on for the calculation. We'll replace this C1 and C2 over here in the equations for the slope and deflection. Now the job becomes very easy, right? C1 will replace here. C2 is already out of the scope, right? For the slope and displacement respectively, right? And we require slope at x equals to 3 meters. Distance is 3, x is 3. So in that case, we'll have this much equation. So let's do it. Slope in step number 5, slope at x equals to 3 meters at point C. So what is the expression for that? We have received already. EI dy upon dx equals to VA square upon 2, that is VA x square by 2, right, plus C1. So negative 356.67, 356.67, and here we have minus 15x cube upon 6, so that we will add minus 15x, I mean x cube upon 6, this is x, and we'll replace x with 3, so dy by dx equals to 4, VA is 40 into 3 raised to square by 2 minus 356.67 minus 15, 3 cube by 6, and that we will divide by EI. Right. So let's do it again. So cube of 3 into 40 divided by 2, so that is 540. On this side I'll write 540 minus 356.67 minus cube of 3 into 15 divided by 6, so that is 67, sorry, 67.5, right, divided by EI. So 35 plus 356.67, so that becomes 424.17 minus 540, so that becomes 115.83, right? Okay, so that is equivalent to dy by dx at C divided by EI. So we can now simplify. We don't need to simplify this time because the given data EI is in form of kilonewton per meter square already. So we just need to divide it by 115.83 divided by 40, 10 raised to 3, right? So divided by 40 divided by 1000, so it becomes 2.895 into 10 raised to minus 3, right, radians. Okay. So that is what we can obtain from this calculation, right? And that is what we can expect from this calculation, right? Now since it's just 3 minutes left, I wish that you guys carry on with the calculation of EI y equals to, let me write down here, VA x cubed by 6, VA x cubed by 6 C1x, so plus C1x, let's check 15 x raised to 24, so minus 15 x raised to 4 upon 24, and we'll see that x is 0, so this term becomes 0 again for deflection. So now we are very well on for this. Now you replace C1 value with 356.7 here, x with 3. Remember that I mean the C1 value is negative, right? So that you should not forget here. So please try on your own and get the value of yc, right? And if you are not able to obtain that, again I will share it into the next class. We'll start our next session from this moment only, right? So I will write here pending, right, so that we can work from here itself. So in the next class, first we will obtain this distance, I mean y value, and then we'll go for another example that is already marked over here, and then we'll go ahead for other varieties, right? So still 2 more sessions I'm expecting to, I'm planning to dedicate to this concept, and then we'll go ahead for the next method, that is moment area method. So once we do this comfortably with some more varieties, then only we'll switch over to the next method. So I give you this as a take home assignment or homework. Please work out on this value yc, and I will ask you to this value in the next class. That's why I'm writing it pending over here. And from this point, we'll go ahead for the next session. So today we did numericals based on the Macaulay's method, and we went for a very important turning point, like how to express moment in form of x minus 3 format, right? How to handle it. That is what the intention, that was the intention of sharing this numerical with you. However, it's a solved problem, so you can reconfirm it once again, and then you can carry on with the calculations also, right? So please do it, and we'll go ahead with the next session in next week. If possible, tomorrow I'll have one session. In case I'll spread a message across, so accordingly if you are free at that time, you can very well attend that session. In that we'll do some more practice. Otherwise we'll meet into the next session next week, right, according to our scheduled sections. So till then, take care and keep learning and keep practicing rather, right? So we'll go ahead from that. So thanks for joining. Take good care of yourself.